and welcome to the Paws of Purpose podcast. I'm Pamela Schmidlin, and this is a space where we talk about living happy, healthy lives alongside our dogs, our animals, body, mind, and soul. Today is December 30th, and we're in this very special time of year, the sixth day of Christmas. Six geese are laying. Okay, enough about that. Representing the 6 days of creation. God's creative work before resting on the seventh day. Which brings me to this idea. When I say dog spelled backwards is God, I don't mean that our dogs are gods. I mean something much simpler and much deeper. I believe our animals, dogs, cats, birds, chickens, cows, you get the idea. They remind us their messages are sent to us by God. They remind us of the qualities God calls us to live by. The unconditional love, the presence, the loyalty, the patience, the peace. They don't ask for status or recognition. They don't expect handouts. They show up, they give, they stay. They teach us how to care for one another. Not out of obligation, but out of love. And maybe that's part of the lesson. That faith isn't loud or demanding. Sometimes it looks like tail wagging, quiet companionship, and being genuinely glad when someone else shows up for us. In a world that often rushes past connection, animals slow us down just enough to remember what really matters. Now, Christmas Day has gone and passed, but the season of Christmas is still very much alive. In fact, right now, we're in what is often called Little Christmas, the sacred space between Christmas Day and Epiphany, which arrives on January 6th. This quiet stretch is often overlooked, but it's one of the most meaningful times of all. It's a time of reflection, a time of waiting, and a time of light gently growing and glowing. And today, I want to talk about peace, faith, animals, and something close to my heart, the idea I lovingly call the first papal dog. Now, wait, before you write, anyone out there raises an eyebrow, stay with me on this. This is not political. It's not spectacle. It's about faith lived gently and visibly in the world. That's it. Faith lived gently and visibly in the world. Okay, so let's talk about Little Christmas and Epiphany. In many cultures, Little Christmas marks the final days of the Christmas season, the time when the Magi are still traveling, still searching, still following the light. Okay? Epiphany, celebrated on January 6th, commemorates the moment the wise men finally reached the Christ child with the gifts they're bearing. And that matters because the journey took time. It wasn't rushed. It required faith, patience, and trust. That's why the church honors 12 days of Christmas, not as a countdown, but as a pilgrimage of the heart. It reminds us that revelation doesn't always come instantly. Sometimes it unfolds slowly, step by step, just like a walk with a dog. Now, isn't that beautiful? When I was in fourth grade, one of my favorite hymns was Let There Be Peace on Earth, and let it begin with me. Those words never left me. It's probably one of the reasons I joined the military. Not because I love conflict, but because I believed in protecting peace. Real peace. The kind that steadies. The kind that guards life. Now, Christmas reminds us that that peace doesn't arrive with power or noise. It arrives quietly, that child in a manger, the animals nearby, the warmth and the cold. This image matters, especially now. One of my favorite biblical stories has always been Noah's Ark. Not just because animals were saved, but because they were included. God's covenant wasn't only with humanity, it was with every living creature. Dogs weren't an afterthought, animals were not expendable. They were and still are part of the promise that which brings us to St. Francis of Assisi. Okay, so who is St. Francis of Assisi? St. Francis is the patron saint of animals, peace, and creation. He spoke to the birds. He walked gently among all living things. He understood that caring for creation is not separate from faith. It is faith in action. That's why churches around the world bless animals on his feast day. And it leads me to a gentle question. What might it look like today for the church and for all of us to visibly live that peace again? The idea of the first papal dog. Let's talk about this. This is where the idea of the first papal dog actually comes in. It's not a gimmick. It's not a novelty, but it should be a symbol of peace, stewardship, compassion, responsibility, faith in daily life. Okay, dogs don't preach. They don't judge. They don't argue. They accompany us. They walk beside us, quietly teaching presence, patience, and love. Okay, let's take a step back. Let's imagine a rescued, well-trained, gentle dog representing care for creation. Not replacing tradition, but reflecting it. A living reminder that faith walks among us. All right. My work through Paws of Purpose is about living faith daily. Walking with your dog, training together, moving your body with intention together, preparing food mindfully together, practicing stillness and prayer together. It's about honoring the body God gave you and the companions he placed beside you. Okay, now I'm going to point out I'm vegan because I chose compassion, not politics, not judgment. Yeah, and yes, I'm conservative, and yes, I believe deeply in peace. These two things can exist together. Okay. Holy Father, if this message ever finds its way to you, this is not a demand. It's simply an invitation to reflect on peace through stewardship, faith through daily life, healing through companionship, hope through responsibility. As we move toward Epiphany, we're reminded that light reveals itself slowly, often through the simplest acts of love. As we move through Little Christmas toward Epiphany, I invite you to ask, where can peace begin with me? Maybe it starts with a walk, maybe a simple act of kindness, maybe noticing the quiet soul beside you. Now, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Now, may peace walk with you always. I'm Pamela Schmidlin. This is the Paws of Purpose podcast. Merry Christmas, a blessed Epiphany, and may 2026 be a year of peace, compassion, and hope. Perhaps even welcoming the first papal dog along the way. Okay, so before we close today, I want to invite you into something simple, something you can return to every single day. This is a short practice of presence, a way to connect with your dog, your breath, and the peace that already lives within you and your dog. You don't need special equipment. You don't need perfection or to to strive toward perfection. You just need you, your dog, and a few quiet minutes. Okay, if you're listening while seated, that's perfect. If your dog is nearby, even better. All right, we're going to start for the first 1 to 2 minutes. You're going to just simply begin by arriving. Okay, so you're going to sit comfortably in your chair. Maybe you want to sit on the floor cross-legged. That's fine. Um, just just rest. Just sit at rest. Just you can have your feet resting on the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, just just sit nice and tall, nice and straight. Let your shoulders soften. Unclench your jaw. Rest your hands gently on your lap. Now, if your dog is beside you, allow them to settle however they naturally choose. Take a slow breath in through your nose and gently release it through your mouth. Again, inhale that peace and exhale that tension. One last time, one more time, one last time, slow and easy. As you breathe, you may notice your dog responding. Your dog is a beautiful mirror of your nervous system. As we soften, they will soften too. This is the beginning of your partnership. You can actually have one hand on your dog during this whole practice, giving them a nice little pet, but lowering your blood pressure. This is healthy for both you and your dog. All right, let's start with the first doggo pose. The first pose is about presence and trust. It's a grounded pause. You can do this for 2 to 3 minutes. For you, you sit tall but relaxed. Imagine a gentle thread lifting the crown of your head. Let your dogs melt. Let your shoulders melt down on your back. Place one hand over your heart, the other on your dog. Now, for your dog, invite your dog to sit or lie next to your feet or beside your chair. You can gently place your hand on their chest, shoulder, or head, and just give them a nice little pet, little stroke down their back or maybe their chest. This will lower your blood pressure, calm them. You can just okay. If your dog fidgets, that's okay. This is a practice. This is not about perfection. You're gonna breathe together, nice for 3 slow breaths. You might quietly say during this time, "We are safe. We are calm. We are together." This is a beautiful moment of trust. Okay, we're going to move on to the second doggo pose. It's a heart to hound stretch. You can do this for 2 to 3 minutes. You are going to just sit slowly and sit down, slowly hinge forward just a little from your hips. Let your arms rest comfortably at your thighs or knees. Keep your spine long, no forcing it. Okay? For your dog, encourage your dog to stretch forward or shift their weight slightly, almost like they're in a play pose, ready to go and play and have some fun with you. Because they're having fun, right? Some dogs will naturally bow or extend their front legs. If they don't, simply let them stay close. You can softly say, "Good stretch. Good job. Thank you for being here." This pose symbolizes mutual trust and openness. Now stay here for a few calm breaths. 2 to 3 would do. You can stay here as long as you wish as well. Okay, so we're going to move on. This is something I do every single day with my dogs. A peaceful walk. You can do this for 2 to 3 minutes. You can do it longer, however, whatever you choose. Now let's prepare to move together, calmly and with intention. Before standing, imagine the walk ahead. Not rushed, not chaotic, just a shared moment between you and your dog. First, we're going to go through the leash ritual. Pick up this leash slowly. Pause before clipping it on. This moment matters. You can say quietly, "This walk is a gift," and it is. Not everyone can get up and walk easily. Now attach the leash gently. No rushing. Stand up. The next step, you're going to stand up slowly together. Let your dog stand beside you or slightly behind you. Your energy will set the tone. If you're calm, your dog will follow. If you're excited, your dog will be excited as well. Match each other's tone. The next step, the first step. Before opening the door, pause again. Breathe in that peace. Breathe out that tension. Take one intentional step forward together. That's it. I'm going to extend in this. When you take that step forward, that step closest to your dog, that foot closest to your dog, start with that foot because your dog will sense that. And every single time you start off with that foot, your dog will know, okay, it's time to go on that mindful walk. Okay? So take that one intentional step forward together. That's it, the first step of the practice. So for the next 1 or 2 minutes, or longer if you choose, as you walk, let go of all expectations. This isn't about distance. It's all about connection. Feel the leash, not tight, not loose, just a way to communicate with your dog, just communicative. Notice your dog checking in with you. Notice your own breath. Talk to your dog. Look eye to eye with your dog. Each step becomes a prayer. Each moment an offering. As you continue your day, remember, you don't walk alone. You're accompanied by love, by purpose, and by a faithful companion by your side. May your steps be gentle, may your heart be light, and may peace walk with you always.